Hello everyone and welcome back, and today we are trying to do the impossible. Not quite the super impossible, but we are trying to win in the probably most inconvenient way I can really think of, and that is using a card that really does nothing in the Millennium Calendar, and all will be one. A 5 mana I have to tap out on my turn when I'm a control deck and just say, please don't remove this, sir. I would like to win the game with it. So what is our game plan? All will be one works in a very cool way. Whenever you put one or more counters on a permanent or player, this would be like a poison counter, for example, all will be one will deal that much damage to target opponent, a creature they control, or a planeswalker they control. For us, it's their dome. We're going straight to the head. You know, we're going right upstairs, as a burn player would always say, but we have control elements. And how does this work? We have the Millennial Calendar. So when you untap one or more permanents during your untap step, but that many time counters on the calendar. So what we're trying to do is play this on one. Our land will untap, it'll put a counter on it. On turn 2, we'll play a land. We'll try to double it, which will only go up to 2, but then we'll untap 3 permanents, which will put this at 5. And now if we double it again, we're at 10. And we're trying to get this roughly to like 15-ish or so by the time we get to put this all will be one in play. So what the plan is once we cast this, we go to our untap step. We untap our 5 lands, which will put 5 counters on the calendar, which all will be one will trigger, and then shoot our opponent for 5. And then what we want to do is we want to activate the 2-mana mode on this and double that, which will be roughly 20. And then we'll put 20 counters on this, shooting our opponent for an additional 20 with all will be one. So basically, we're looking to one-shot our opponent with this kind of 1-2 punch combo whenever it's online. Also, we have a lot of cool situations. I have Domain making a big blunder in order for us to win the game against them, which I'll show that kind of right now. This was our window. No way! Oh, dude. I will like to activate this. Other than that, we get a couple of cool spots where like we're against control and they don't quite have the things to do. But the way we get there is we play a lot of counter magic and kind of a lot of spot removal and board wipes with a couple of reload cards or cards to help us live. This would probably reside in this area, not necessarily a removal, but maybe in between here, as our hand's pretty full. You need a third pass, just gaining us 6 life, helping us draw deeper a little bit to find our pieces. And then scrutiny on our opponent's instep. This card is definitely in here to kind of help you against your control matchups, because in control, we're going to demonstrate that we're control pretty heavily. We want this card on their instep to force them to counter it. If they don't counter it, then we have more odds to find our counter magic and land drops to make in order to hold up counter magic when we play the all will be one. So outside of that, we're going to go ahead and hop into the games. I hope you all enjoy them. And if you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. It truly helps me out, and I appreciate it a ton. Other than that, let's go ahead and game. Ooh. Is our hand good enough? We are on the play. It could be. This definitely seems like a risky boy. Come on. Yeah, it looks so much better. When you maul and you see a hand like this, you're like, oh yeah, you probably should have done this the entire time. What do I get rid of? Get lost, maybe? Even though get lost, I guess, a little bit more universal here. Maybe it's a no more lies, because I'm going to have no more lies down. But, let's keep the get lost just in case. Alright, opponent, welcome. Welcome to it. Please do not play March of the Otherworldly Light. That has a counter. We find another counter spell. We play a tap land. My god, if we are the same deck somehow, we got some funny things happening. Pass? Instep? We want to float all of our mana, by the way, so more mana's untapped here, so it puts more counters on this. And especially now we're able to, because we have a no more lies available at any time here. They draw. They do nothing. You miss your land? We will not go down now. Now we'll hold it. We'll hold this counter spell for the rest of the time if we can. Man, if we could just slam this card, it'd be so sick. But I think our plan right now is just to protect this at all times. Doubling gets pretty intense for the most part. Instep. So now I can actually float all my mana. Because there'll be no time after instep here that I don't have the mana available. Let's just make sure we have kind of double here. Because now you can tell I still have my mana. And I'll take my turn now. It's up to 38, up to 44. This sets it all the way up to 80 some. Next, just hold my counter magic. Memory Deluge. I think I go ahead and pop this Deluge. Yes. Activate. The control deck couldn't deal with it. Let's go. I mean, removal, board wipe, plus pieces. Sure. I feel like we're locked in here. Calendar. Go ahead. Like what? I wouldn't blame you. Get lost going to be important to get these leyline bindings gone. Leyline binding not available. Sure. Go ahead. Okay. I will take almost anything other than another get lost, I think. I say that now, but then when they play 3 leyline bindings, I'm like, okay, fair enough, my bad. Go ahead. It's been my #1 problem playing this deck thus far. It's just hitting land drops. That's all I want. That resolves. I'll just remove it. They still gain the life because life link's obviously still fine. That part doesn't really matter that much, to be honest with you. I'll take it. It's a land drop, nevertheless. Like, maybe not the one I want, but the one I got. Also, playing Besage you. I get it, but wow. Even attracts, I'm not super worried about. No basic planes, so I do get to get lost this here. Unless I have a basic planes in hand. No. My turn. It is now up to one-shot territory. And we have to play... Oh, boy. Do you think if I put an all will be one on the battlefield, that they just leyline binding my all will be one? Or my calendar? I think they'll do my all will be one. To be honest. And then I can just get lost to binding and then just activate the calendar. I mean, that's the play I'm going to go for. Just kind of assume that the all will be one will be targeted. If I untap, they lose. Maybe they don't know how it works entirely. I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. Because I actually went and taught Sparky a lesson on it. Alright. All will be one, please. Sweet. Now Atraxa. We just want them to tap out. Alright, no binding, no planes. No binding, no planes. There's a planes and there's a leyline binding. Super sick. Counter spell? It all hurts, chat. It all hurts. This was our window. No way! No, opponent! No shot you did that! Leave up your ley line binding, please! Oh, dude. I will like to activate this. At 25. Ah, snap. So if you're wondering, like, oh, great, they couldn't do anything, it gets added and the triggers on the stack. If I get lost, the thing holding this under it, they could have leyline binding my calendar instead, and I wouldn't have it in play to activate anymore. But instead, we basically forced them to take our all will be one, or gambled that they would, and we get to W anyway. Super sick. Opponent goes first. Our hand's solid. We have all the colors we need, and kind of like 2-drop, 3-drop ish. Besides, I guess the second blue, right? For this to be a counterspell, or for this to draw a card. Never mind. I lied. My hand is fine. Everything's a lie, chat. Nothing matters. Oh, yay. This day's like today. That. I don't know. Sick. I don't care. Days like today that I hate Covert Go Blues channel. I've ran into this control deck where they have 0 win conditions so many times since he uploaded his video. My lord. Please. I'm just gonna cycle Sokas on and just start hitting them. Okay, it'll still take 20 turns to kill them. They're at 32. Seems good to me. Seems good to me, boss. Combat these ones. This one, go ahead. I'll try to draw cards on your instep. Sure. Don't worry, these boys got a long way to go. Never mind, they have nowhere to go. I don't care. If that's what a temporary lockdown is being used on, I don't care. I actually have a card significantly worse for that. This one? No! It's almost like we knew it was coming. Okay. Oh, they see that and they're like, wait a minute. That's a problem. And I'll hold up 1 counter spell. I can't hold up 2, actually. You have the answer? Jace. Okay. Are we minusing Jace? We are. Okay. Hey, you didn't take my calendar. I appreciate that. Let's not let this untap. That seems like a bad idea. Let's intern. Maybe not Covert's list, because I don't think he even played a Jace. We just pass. No more lies acquired. Very sick. Very cool. They're going to put a Memory Deluge on the stack. Wow. Boys, it's like I can guess every move. I'm going to allow it because I have to. Because most likely if they try to remove my all will be 1, I need to 3 steps ahead it and then no more lies. Their counterspell is kind of my game plan. Although, doesn't even work. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. It like literally doesn't even work. Although without the calendar, but they put a second one in my yard. So stressful. I'm gonna try to counter it. You have the counter spell? If it's just no more lies, I can pay for it. Huh? Go for it. They have another get lost, sure. Flashback Memory Deluge. Okay. I will gain my 4. That sucks. That is great. Calendar. Let's move on. I still have 2 counter spells. They dead? I have to think now, chat. 1. Well, I can't double it here. It'll add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just counter that. I have the no more lies. So we're really placing our bets here. Oh wait, they're at 32. They're not at 20. I was trying to do the math, though they were at 20. They're not at 20. My turn. 6. 7. Sweet. This one. Next, they have 2 turns. And turn. And this doesn't kind of get there. Or does it? No, because Jace coming back won't do it. I don't think. It could do it. I'm not sure. But I can't stop this. I have to allow this to happen. Yeah, Jace can't get it done. End step pause. Tap land, trigger on the stack. Blue, white, 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 red, white, blue, blue. Double here. I'll do 7. Resolve. You'll take that. Next turn, it will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 damage to them. 9 damage, so half their life total, and then I'll double it, which 9 will go onto that. It'll be 23, and then we'll add 23 to it. Yeah, because it just doubles. So it won't do like 50 some. It'll just do whatever it doubles. So there'd be another 23 on that. So we actually come away with the win here. This wasn't Covert's list. I thought it was going to be, which sucked. Which sucks for us because that means they play a lot more interaction. But because our opponent was playing cards like Jace and this, we actually get away because they're not super locking people out with the control deck. So we got really fortunate. Very cool. I believe the list that Covert, where I'm talking about, is it's titled Wizards Doesn't Want You to Know. If you go watch that, you'll know exactly what we were in for if it was that list and we were going to be in a very bad spot. It's always something with my hands, dude. I have no red. Like, red's not a big deal for this or really this. No more lies can kind of stave off if we're lucky, or in Ganjo if we hit land drops. I'm gonna try. I'm starting to think this was a horrible idea. That worked the way I think it does. Oh yeah, just and all will be one draw. Very sick. Come on, bone it. Boros isn't dowered. Okay, you're mono white. That kind of hurts. Hey, we have a chance. Let's go. I don't really think we do, especially if this is an Adeline, and I cursed every time. Oh yeah, just have more caverns in your deck. What is that? Doesn't go away? What do you mean it doesn't go away? So mess up. Oh boy. Dude, stop playing caverns. I was like, man, maybe I'll get lucky and I'll have a chance to like kill a creature. Dude, this sucks. I have to wait till they attack too. If you play another Coppercoat Vanguard, I swear. I just like kind of have to let Thalia ride. I like can't answer. I have to let that happen. Like, I can't do anything about it. My No More Lies is about as... Alright. Ah! You were such a sick draw, but I failed you, dude. Sometimes you just grow old enough to know you're the villain. This can't pay for this because this doesn't count as casting, right? I believe so. I believe so. I believe so full-heartedly. Yeah, because that trigger happens after. Am I supposed to bounce Thalia? Or am I supposed to bounce the Avenger? Because Thalia does it regardless, right? Guess I could... This one, I guess. You're the one that makes things weird. I just hope to draw an untapped red source. That's all I want. That's all I yearn for. Replay your thing back down. Your card I've never seen. Oh, it's 3 mana. Never mind. I'm nuts. Well, I have a chance to live. Doesn't feel like a great one, but I have a chance to live, and I can't counter this, so it's not like I'm doing anything regardless. Just gets worse, chat. Yep. Uh-huh. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Sure. Oh, okay. So one thing I'll point out immediately is we need more lands. I don't care almost what card you cut at random. We need to add more lands. I got in so many games where just missing a land drop costed me. I have 24, which you would think is like, it's like a fine land amount, but this deck is deceivingly, like in a control list, for example, you always want to hit your land drops because you want to cast 2, 3, 4 spells potentially a turn, right? For us, we need to hit 1 through 5 pretty like on curve, because if we don't do that, we just can't get this game plan ever to happen. We're not here to play this on 1 and defend ourselves for eternity until we get it to 1,000. Now, can we ever do that? Yes. Did we do that today? No. Realistically, with 4 of these in our deck, we're really trying to get this to happen where we just kind of activate it, double it for 20 counters, and then kill our opponent that way while holding up interaction. But by far none. Our deck, just because we were missing land drops, I think cost us 2 to 3 games. Because I just would hit 3rd land, and I would not see a land in my next 5 cards, and I would have like 2 of these in my hand. And so basically what was happening is I would just get bottlenecked on, do I No More Lies, a spell that's important, or do I cast 3 steps ahead to draw 2 cards and discard 1 because I need to get to it? Because the spell I'm countering doesn't stop my opponent from not winning the game. It slows them down a little bit, but their board's still already a big presence. And then what happens if our opponent puts a cavern in play? This card doesn't even exist anymore. You know, like we had a aggro deck play 3 caverns. Like this card's never going to be relevant, even though we do have a demo field to blow up 1 cavern potentially. But they played 3. This card was dead, and this card is slightly dead because this is a legendary thing. So if our opponent removes it, like even if we want to copy it, it's not the best thing of all time to copy, and this just becomes a kind of poor rate draw 2 and discard a card. However, the deck did do better than I thought it would. I kind of went into the match like, here's the lore, by the way. I don't know who made this deck list at first at all, but I just have a friend that just is just like on Twitter Magic, on MTG decks, everywhere. Like if there is a spicy list out there, he somehow finds it and sends it to me, which is really funny, but he never tells me who. and he never alludes to what it is. He just goes, I have a cool deck. Here's a screenshot of what I played. Do you want to play it? And I said, sure. Send the list over. I imported it, stared at it like this, and went, okay, let's go queue. Like, I didn't play test it at all. I didn't look at the land count. I didn't look at anything. I just hopped in blind because I think that's the best way to do it if I'm going to be playing something like this. Because one thing I would have noticed right away, I think, is the fact that with 24 lands in this deck list, I just don't think we can survive on that. I think we have to have more than that. Like 26 is probably where I go. I think realistically, I would trim like one here, probably one here. I know how good No More Lies could be, but again, with the amount of caverns and things running around, trim on these. And I would almost even want this to be Memory Deluge to give us like a 2 spell for 1 and look at 4. This card's sick. Obviously, we love to draw 3, but I just think Memory Deluge is better than this card at like 9 times out of 10. But I get to, like, I see running this, just not in this deck list. I think Memory Deluge is still where you want to be, and that kind of comes with adding more lands in. So I think where we're at, this card's best because if we do only have 3 lands, this card's still castable. Memory Deluge isn't. But a 3-mana draw 1 pretty much means you're losing the game anyway in most circumstances. Like, the best way to use this is against control. Our control matchup is a great example of how to use this card. Use 5 mana on there and draw 3 cards. Because your opponent in most matches is going to think that you're a control deck. And the one thing you don't want to lose in a control deck is the kind of hand battle. That's like the most important. You don't care if there's like a 2/2 hitting you until it's about to be lethal, unless they play red, obviously. And then that range is roughly 5. You want to make sure, like, okay, if I go to 3, I have to hard counter a lightning helix. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to at least tank 1 if they have 2. Be a loss, I suppose. But you have to counter this. However, Memory Deluge is just so good because even if they do 3 steps ahead, it still goes to our graveyard. We can play it again later. And with a deck like this where we need to find 1+2, most times, more often than not, need to find these, I think it's worth playing Memory Deluge over the Scrutiny as well. And I would definitely increase my land count by 2. And if we're doing it like that, I'd probably go here and like here and just call it a day. I guess probably instead of no, I'd probably run like that. Maybe I obviously evaluate it yourself. Maybe maybe add another demo field to maybe pop another thing, play another basic or something somewhere. But outside of that, I hope you all enjoyed the list regardless. We did have a little bit of fun with it. We got to play with the calendar. I think it's my first time ever playing with the calendar, so it was really fun for me regardless. And All Will Be One is definitely a phenomenally fun card to play with, even though Commander players get to kind of enjoy it more than anybody. But we got to enjoy it a bit today here. So outside of that, do I recommend crafting the deck? Absolutely not. But if you already play Control and you happen to have these cards, like this is a mythic, I literally just happen to have these. I would not craft this deck if you asked me to. I just wouldn't. This pile, outside of anything rotating, I would, because I think all these cards are good. Lightning Helix obviously does have an uncommon. It just defaults to this art because I haven't changed it. But realistically, I would not craft this deck unless you just have it. It's a fun deck to play. Just go play it, have fun, enjoy it. Sometimes playing a fun deck's better than being super competitive all the time. But outside of that, I hope you all enjoyed regardless, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.